Hello, everyone. I'm going to be talking about economic class and more specifically economic class in America and high class versus low class, as well as some economics in the world in general. Let's begin. So, what comes to mind when I think of high class and low class is I think of the 1% versus the 99%. I mean, it is really like basically like them and us. I mean, granted, like it's much less black and white than that, but let's focus on that for now. So, basically, like I think of sort of higher classes like the ones who own all of the corporations like Walmart, McDonald's, KFC, etc. And I think of the lower class as the people who are the consumers. So essentially, the people who like buy all the products, who go pay to see all the movies, who go and basically just like make it so that the 1% can get even richer than they already are. And to a point, like I mean, in capitalism, like that's how it works. However, I'm sort of like, why does that system exist? Because I mean, sure, in theory, it is a good system because it rewards like accomplishment and it awards like obviously wealth. But when wealth translates over to power, that's sort of like not a good thing because then people can essentially buy other people. And what I mean by this is that, politically speaking, tons of politicians are being bought out by huge corporations and businesses to support their needs, to cut their taxes, and to basically make life as good for them as possible. And they basically make all the politicians push for higher taxes on the lower class in the hopes that it'll quote unquote trickle down. In theory, like trickle down does work, but the thing is that it is just not trickling down. It's staying with the top 1%, and that is not alright. When I think of like higher class versus low class in America, I mean, it is quite a huge wealth disparity. I mean, let's take in, for instance, Walmart. Like, the seven heirs of the Walmart fortune who aren't even doing anything, they just inherited all their money. They are richer than the bottom 50% of all Americans. Let that sink in for a moment. I mean, basically, like, wealth disparity is a huge problem in the US and actually all over the world. I mean, as far as, like, as countries go, we are one of the wealthiest countries in the world. And we have people living in this country whose worth is worth more than several other of the poorest countries in the world. Like, so someone like Miley Cyrus or Justin Bieber is worth more than an impoverished African country. Let that sink in for a moment. So, essentially, what I'm getting at is wealth disparity is a huge problem. And I don't like it. And there's not really much we can do about it unless, laws change and people's attitudes towards capitalism and, like, sort of the whole economic world in general start changing.